So if you had to say, one thing that you do differently as a leader now to 1 year ago, because you clearly move quite fast, what would you say that's changed? What's changed for you in the last year?
Yeah, this has been a tough one for me because I am a people pleaser or maybe like recovering people pleaser.
Mhm.
And so I would always try to not give people feedback, or I would just say near enough is good enough, or they're trying their best. And
Mm.
I would accept um a bit of a lower standard of work because I didn't want to hurt people's feelings. And that's not a good way to operate because yeah, your people are trusting you with their businesses and they're trusting you to do the best job you can. So if you're trying to help people or make people feel good, or, try to mitigate people's emotions, it's actually not your responsibility. Your responsibility is to produce a
Mhm.
high as you can standard of work while being polite and kind as well. But yeah, so I had to make a bit of an adjustment to my management in that area, and even now, sometimes I'll be giving feedback or I'll be sending it back for another edit round, sending it back. And yeah, I sometimes feel bad about it. And I don't want to like do that. But I think at the end of the day, it makes them better. It makes the clients happier. But it's always been a huge challenge for me. And a part of that was knowing what the end goal is, knowing what's important, and overall that's producing a really good service and making sure you're like decent to people while doing that. And then the rest of the stuff, it's sort of really up to people to manage their um, yeah, manage their emotions and regulate themselves. It's really not up to the leader to manage that. You just have to try to be kind and firm, and yeah.
Yeah, I can completely relate to that as a fellow people pleaser myself. And I was speaking to somebody about it, and because I like kind of blunt to the point feedback, but often when I had a team around me, I'd be, I'd walk around in circles because I didn't want to upset anyone. And the person I was speaking to said it's actually more kind to be direct and give them the feedback because then they can grow as well. And yeah, like you say, we can't, it's not our job to take on everyone's emotions, but it can be difficult, because you don't want to hurt people's feelings. But I like that you look at it from the perspective of the client, the person that's kind of paying for the service. And if you keep them in mind, then I
Mm.
imagine it makes it a lot easier.